let me try to give you a virtual pep talk about this dialogue essay. Let me just give a few little bullet points of pep talks if you're worried about this essay. First, most importantly, the dialogue essay assignment is explained in detail on page 4 of the syllabus. So if you haven't seen that yet, please go read page 4. All I'll be doing here is just going through some of the highlights of what you'll read on page 4 to try to make you feel better about it. Also, very important, if you really are in a panic mode and you are starting to write this essay and you just can't get it to work, please know that this is technically optional. If you don't do the essay, I will just automatically double the weight of your final, so you will make up those points there. All right, so the basics. You will be writing this dialogue like you would write a play. So you can have settings if you want, but the most important aspect is this will be a dialogue between probably two people. Let me discuss the two most common formats, right? So first, in terms of just the basic stuff, you will be writing a format where, please, single space your writing, right? So have the person's name who is talking, and then single space that dialogue, right? So change your settings to single space. All I ask you do is just add an additional space, hit an extra enter when the next person is talking, so it makes it really easy to read. The two most common formats that work the easiest here is to have dialogues between just two people. One easy way to do this is have your person, right? So you will write your name as a character. Your person will be representing that opinion paper you wrote. And then you could have me, right? Or choose one of the philosophers as the know-it-all character attacking that opinion paper author and teaching that person the ideas from the class that should help them overcome their problems. The second format that's very easy is to have you take on your past self. So you will have one character that is the character that is you that wrote that opinion paper, and then you will have you now attacking that old opinion paper self for their stupid ideas. You will be teaching them the concepts of the class that will help them overcome their stupidity and go on to live a good life. Now, some of the detail. There will need to be source citations throughout this paper, right? But I do not want a bibliography or works cited page or footnotes or anything like this. You will be citing your source whenever you use an idea that wasn't invented by you. So any concept from the class, any story you got from the classroom, right? Maybe I had an idea that you want to bring into your paper. Maybe you use an idea from one of the essays that you borrowed in class. Remember, some of you borrowed some sample essays from me. Any idea that's not your own will be cited as a source. You will give credit to the idea. But this is super easy. All you need is, after you've written the paragraph that contains the idea, save it for the end. So you're not doing this all throughout your work, but put it at the end of that speech. You will simply, in parentheses, write in the name and the page number of where this came from. If it was me talking, just put my name and the week number or the date in which I said it. That's all you need. Of course, if you used an outside source, if a website gave you some help in, say, explaining bad faith, then you do need a fuller citation. I need to be able to look at that citation and find that online. And note that this paper should be about just one of the questions from the opinion paper. And by that, I don't even just mean one of the 9 questions. I mean a very particular question from the opinion paper. The best ones, the ones that are the most conducive for this paper, are the ones that I put in bold in the syllabus. If you select one of those, I have seen a number of great papers using those. You could use others, of course, and of course, as you're talking about your one question, some of the other questions might naturally come up. You might bring up issues that are very far from your question, but if that's what naturally comes up in the dialogue, let it happen. So other issues might come up, right? And many issues will come up that you didn't plan for. That's how this paper works. So, the absolute requirement for the paper is that you have one character representing the opinion paper and another character representing the ideas from class. You need at least those 2 characters. Notice that the know-it-all character must explain things very, very clearly to that opinion paper writer, because they were not here to attend Jeff's great lectures about bad faith or alienation or Heidegger or whatever you're talking about in your paper. So you have to teach those ideas. So this will require quite a few examples, quite a few stories, and don't forget to show how the idea applies directly to that opinion paper self. This paper can be started automatically once you have chosen your question you're going to focus on. Have the know-it-all begin the paper by asking the question from the opinion paper, and you, the opinion paper self, are simply going to paste in that original answer you gave from the opinion paper. And then the paper goes, the know-it-all will start attacking that original opinion paper answer. The good place to look for some of the first and most essential attacks are in those comments I wrote about your opinion paper when I gave it back. From there, you must, as I said before, explain the attacks, explain the concepts, and apply it directly to life. And then the dialogue should continue quite naturally as the opinion paper writing self tries to defend what they wrote, learns the new ideas, deals with those ideas, and talks about what they're going to do next. So never simply say, that's your opinion, I disagree, or never simply say, oh, that's a pretty good attack. Also go on to deal with it. Show me what you are going to do with that when it comes to your opinions, beliefs, and future life. So don't have the paper end with just attacks. Let that dialogue flow naturally as you'll deal with those attacks and try to learn something about them to make your life better. Again, you should have fun with this paper. When you get used to the way the dialogue works, most of you will find this to be, it will be tricky because we're not used to doing this much honest type of work. We're used to just imitating what smart papers sound like. This paper will sound like you, and most of you will have quite a fun time doing it. All right, good luck.